Hey, nerds. We understand you. Drop those controllers. Lose the wizard hat. And ready your Cheetos. It's time for some hard-hitting talk about the movies, books, and games you love. So get ready, oh searcher of useless knowledge. It's time to step into the Geek Cave. Now, broadcasting from a top secret and totally awesome hidden base, I'm Ken Harris, and here's Darrin Wright, Justin White, and Chad Savage.
Now, with the new holographic 1 of 100 cover, it's Geek Cave Podcast Comics. I'm Darrin.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Chad.
You know, I want to start an Amish-like community, but instead of no technology, we just have technology that was available in 1999 and back. Welcome to comics.
Did you feed your Tamagotchi?
I had one of those. He didn't make it.
They never do.
Apparently there's a reset.
I didn't know that. See, like, I was a good kid, right? And by that I mean that, you know, if you weren't supposed to take something to school, I didn't take it to school. So I got a Tamagotchi for Christmas. I kept that little asshole alive all through Christmas break. I'd go to school, and I'd leave it at home. I come back, there's poop everywhere, and it's sick. The next morning, there's a ghost.
I saw a comic strip where somebody learned about the reset, and then they were running to their childhood backyard to dig it up. I'm coming, little buddy.
I can't say I wouldn't have done the same.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome to comics. Welcome to the Geek Cave Podcast. It is May, and that means it's spring, and Extra Life is right around the corner.
Damn straight.
All the details can be found at our website, geekcavepodcast.com, including prizes, what hospitals we're supporting. But for more information, let's go to Darrin. Darrin?
That's right. If you've been watching any of our content on Twitch or YouTube, we've also been including details on how you can donate there. And I believe it's going to be around Halloween once again, late October. I believe that's what we all agreed on. Another 2-day extravaganza with prizes and silliness and live streams and quiet live streams because some people don't want to talk, and that's okay too. But yeah, if you want to donate, 100% of your donations go straight to Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and a donation of any amount, $1 or more, gets you into the drawings for some amazing prizes, which will be announced at a later date.
Yay. Thank you, Darrin. Moving over to Chad.
Yeah, huh? What?
Thank you, Chad.
Sorry.
That jerk.
Was there something else?
No, he just wanted to screw with you.
Was there a thing? Chad Savage.
There you go. Yeah, he said the thing. So, Darrin, have you read anything lately?
Well, it's not a superpower per se, more of a talent. But anyway, ta-da!
Be gentle.
Be gentle.
Be gentle.
Be gentle.
It's Darrin's first time.
I told you be gentle.
Welcome to Darrin's First Time, the segment that advises you to see a doctor if the comic you're reading takes 4 or more hours to finish. This month, I read America's Got Powers, written by Jonathan Ross, published by Image Comics. It takes place in basically modern day, although the story starts 17 years ago. A giant crystal descends from the sky, lands in San Francisco, and causes every pregnant woman in a 5-mile radius to give birth immediately, regardless of what state of pregnancy they're in. I like to call it the Chuck Norris Comet. The good news is the babies are all fine. In fact, they're better than fine, which is, I guess, the problematic news. They all have superpowers. Every single one of them. Well, almost. We'll get back to that. So, Tommy Watts is who America's Got Powers is about. He's seemingly just a normal human, relatively normal job. He works in the gift shop for an arena where there's an annual televised reality competition called America's Got Powers. Teens with powers who grow up and train in what are called the camps. No negative connotations there.
No.
Compete for a chance to join the Power Generation, America's official superhero team. Tommy's brother, Bobby, won it last year. and then promptly died. Like, literally, won the competition, immediately died. But that death led to massive ratings, and so this year's competition is designed to maximize the carnage, and even spectators are in play if something particularly bad happens. Is it sad that I can totally see reality TV doing this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Tommy is the one kid who never got powers. His brother did. He did not. But just like all the others on that day born 17 years ago, he has to wear a star on his shirt identifying his genetics and place of birth. Again, I'm sure that's totally fine, and that's not a reference to any other thing. What are you talking about? Anyway, Tommy has to also pick up mascot duty today because it's the season premiere, and the guy who normally plays the mascot is out sick. So he has to put on a big-headed version of the actual hero known as the quarterback. He's like the star athlete. Everyone loves him. He's also a giant dickhead. So just keep that in mind. He's an asshole. And every kid's hero, though. Tommy even gives a kid in the gift shop a quarterback action figure that the kid could not afford. Tommy's like, I don't care if they fire me. So there you go. Showing us that in a world of bloodthirsty monsters, our protagonist is the only good person. Keep that in mind, I guess. Anyway, it's showtime. He does the mascot thing. It goes off fine, as in he only had a little bit of trash thrown at him this time.
Oh, only a little.
According to the other mascot performer, she said, that's actually pretty good. Usually there's more. So the competition's underway, and the robots that these competitors have to beat are just mopping the floor with them. Just cleaning their clocks because the difficulty got turned up. At one point, a guy whose power is to explode gets sent into the barrier wall separating the field from the fans. The wall goes down.
Ooh, that's not good.
Why wouldn't it? The robots then turn their attention to a kid who landed on the field, because if you're on the field, you are fair play, and the kid happened to be the same one that Tommy gave that action figure to earlier.
Uh-huh.
So Tommy goes and he tries to shield the kid with his body, act of self-sacrifice, covers him like, it's okay, kid, just look at me, that kind of thing. And then tells the kid to close his eyes. He raises his hand to cushion the blow and releases what appears to be a massive EMP.
Nice.
Pretty much destroys every robot on the field. Now, keep in mind, Tommy's own medical records say he has no powers.
It's the suit. It's the mascot suit.
But now he is favored to win the whole competition. And that's where the first issue ends of America's Got Powers. So, the writing's fine. It makes me a little uncomfortable, but that's not the fault of the person writing the story as much as it is the current TV landscape. Because I could totally see us do something like this. This story reminds me of a cross of The Hunger Games and My Hero Academia.
Okay.
The main character doesn't have powers, wants to be a superhero, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't have quirk, is what they call it. Now, the art seemed really, really familiar. I finally was able to narrow it down. Brian Hitch does a lot of the art. He also did The Last Days of Lex Luthor, a DC Black Label book. He also did Captain America Reborn. He also did the Mark Waid run on JLA.
Okay.
And I don't think it's the same artist, but it's very similar to the art from Avengers Disassembled, which is a garbage book with great art. So, more of a realistic style. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it works for the story that Ross is telling. As far as whether or not I'll pick up another issue of this, probably not. And it's not because I don't see what they're doing, and it's not because I don't think it's a story worth telling. I just think it's one of those where, again, like with other books, I go to comics for escapism. And this is just a little too close to what I could see us actually doing if we had a situation where people got powers. We would totally, A, put them in camps to protect everyone else, and B, have them be in a reality show so they could be an official superhero. And anyone who lost either dies or goes back to the camps. Again, can't see what they're trying to say with that one at all.
No.
But yeah. This is leave on red until it's 3 a.m. and you're desperately lonely, and then you text it with a "you up" kind of book. In a pinch, it'll work.
Thank you, Darrin.
Yeah.
For a palate cleanser, Chad?
Yeah, so, well, you know me, try to stick with a single family of comics for the year. And I've been reading, the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a stupid question.
Oh, there are no stupid questions.
And now it's time for Chad Savage's Stupid Question.
So I know that Reed makes the suits for the team.
Right.
Because he's the only one smart enough to make fabric that will go invisible only when his wife's invisible. Short-sighted fella. And, flame retardant stuff, but nothing that'll cover up rock because that doesn't work. But I know he doesn't make all of the clothes, so I guess my question is, does Reed Richards' tailor have the easiest job in the world or the hardest?
I mean, cotton is the fabric of our lives, and so many uses and spandex. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
In classic X-Men stories, they basically just hand-waved it away as Professor Xavier knows someone from the Shi'ar Empire, the clothing is made of unstable molecules, and just fuck off.
Nice. I like that explanation. That tracks.
I think whether Reed's clothes fit or not depends on how much he's been drinking in any particular iteration of the Fantastic Four.
I'm not melting, you're melting. Oh. My mouth does taste better after that than it did with Darrin, so thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
So,
Yep.
Has anybody read anything else?
Okay, so the Disney graphic novels for like Phineas and Ferb, I got a couple like the bound things for Christmas. They're fine.
I didn't know they made those.
Oh yeah, they're fine. They're not great, but they're fine. And so it's like if you're 8 and you really love Phineas and Ferb, and you're like, I really, Mom and Dad are not letting me watch my screens. So maybe I can get some of those old wood screens, and I can watch those.
Oh.
They'll scratch the itch, but only just.
Yeah.
Wood screens.
Wood screens. Yeah, I like
we
that.
We should call books that now.
Yeah.
All right.
I dig that, yes. So thank you. If there's nothing else, let's move on to the main. Oh, yes.
Well, we do have a question from our Discord.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes, just a reminder, go to geekcavepodcast.com, join the Discord. You can communicate with us directly. You can ask questions that we are contractually obligated to answer on the show. And
sadly,
today's today's question is the recently Gerry Conway passed away.
Yes.
Co-creator of some pretty big characters. So in honor, and here are some of the characters. He created the Punisher. He also had a hand in creating the following: Power Girl, Captain Marvel, the Carol Danvers version, Jason Todd, and Firestorm. So, in honor of Gerry Conway, what are the host's favorite Gerry Conway stories?
All right. So I'm going to go first because you guys know more.
Right.
I'm a big fan of Punisher.
Yeah.
I like how Punisher is one of the normal people in Marvel.
Really, yeah.
I also like Killer Croc. Like, I don't know the story so much, but I like the particular characters that he's done. Although I will say, brave to kill Gwen Stacy the way he did. Because that was him that did that.
It's probably his most iconic story.
It's certainly most well-known.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who's been writing stuff since he was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
Or younger. Because that was when Daredevil moved to the West Coast for a while. He was 18.
Wow. So the night Gwen Stacy died, that's your pick.
I think that's a brave pick. I'm not going to say
Okay,
it's my
all right.
favorite. I'm saying that
Gotcha.
it's brave, it's well known, and it's worth reading.
Yeah, it is.
But I've generally, when I pick up a comic, I don't care who's written it unless it's poorly written.
Then you know.
And then I want to know so I can avoid it.
Yeah.
So his name having not come up to me just means, oh, his stuff must have been average or better.
Well, I don't like the Punisher as a character. I never have. I just, like, if you're gonna bill him as a villain, not a hero, not an anti-hero, this is a straight-up villain. Do that. And then I could understand it. But, I like where Jason Todd went. I like...
Uh,
Under the crowbar?
After that.
Into a Lazarus pit?
Yeah, from that point on. I like the concept of Jason as a former Robin being the Red Hood. I like that. I like a lot of the other characters that he's co-created. Carol Danvers, Starfire, that sort of thing. But it seems like a lot of the characters he's created have ultimately been physically or psychologically tortured in some fashion that is just like, did you set out for this? Or was that just writing after the fact? I don't know. I dislike the death of the night Gwen Stacy died because it's just, I've always contended that Peter doesn't need to have angst all the time to be a good Spider-Man. Gwen could have still died, and Peter could have realized that it was the Goblin that killed her, and he just failed to save her. The fact that he doesn't know whether he killed her or not has always irked me. I'm like, no, have the Goblin kill her. He's the bad guy, and he just failed to save her. So I like a lot of his characters that he's co-created, but that's about it on my end.
That's fair. Well, with all the DC and Marvel crossovers taking place right now and the anniversaries of such, and that being fresh in our minds, I gravitated towards when Superman met Spider-Man for the first time. That story was written by Gerry Conway.
Oh.
Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man back in 1976.
Okay.
Where Superman, again, this is like Silver Age Superman. Getting close to modern age. The Crisis on Infinite Earths hasn't happened yet. But he knows that the newspapers in New York City, or at least the most prestigious one, keeps referring to Spider-Man as a menace. You know? And so Superman's like, somebody's got to do something. That guy's a bad guy, so I'm going to stop him. And, of course, misunderstanding leads to them teaming up and taking out an actual villain and that kind of stuff. But, like, you know, being able to put your hand to the meeting of two of comic books' most famous characters, and certainly two of the most iconic, is pretty cool. Now, that being said, of the characters that I mentioned that he's created, I think my favorite is probably Carol Danvers. You know, Ms. Marvel then became Captain Marvel in the comics. You know, I really like her. I thought the movie was good. I liked her. I liked her as a character. You know, she's basically Marvel's answer to Hal Jordan, except not nearly as irresponsible as Hal Jordan.
I like it.
Gerry Conway, you know, he had a huge impact on the comic book world, and frankly, it's a little sad that his name is not as big as others, because especially from like the 80s and so on, he was a big deal.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. And like I said, I love a lot of the characters he co-created. I'm just not big on the Punisher, and I'm not big on how they handled Gwen Stacy's death.
That's fair.
So thanks for the question, whoever asked it.
That was Gungraves on Discord.
Cool. All right. Anything else? All right. Well, with nothing else, once again, the main event. Kent?
The first time was good. The second time, even better. Maybe. Turn the clock back as Justin takes a second look.
So this month we're looking at Ultimate Spider-Man from 2000. The original Ultimate Spider-Man, specifically issues 1 through 7 that ran from October 2000 to May of 2001. Creative,
The Bendis run.
The Bendis run, yeah. Brian
Okay.
Michael Bendis, art by Matt Bagley. So a lot of it follows the typical Spider-Man storyline. He gets bit by the spider, develops powers, ultimately becomes Spider-Man. Uncle Ben dies, yada, yada, yada. But there's a few little minor tweaks here and there. So he and his class are on a field trip to Oscorp, where he gets bit by the spider. Turns out Osborn was genetically modifying animals for Project Oz. And the spider was one of them. It got loose, it came down, it bit Peter, and over the next several days, Peter experiences fainting spells, pain and whatever, but finally it seems to settle down. Osborn manages to snag a sample of his blood after the incident to test it, and they're like, yeah, the kid's going to be dead in a few days. I don't think we're going to have to worry about it, but we'll keep an eye on him. Well, he doesn't. His body stabilizes, and he starts to develop these new powers. Along with this, he was a good kid. He was your typical Peter Parker, nerdy, shy, kind of withdrawn. But now he's starting to become cocky. He's copping an attitude, especially with Aunt May and Uncle Ben. He's a teenager.
It happens.
It happens, yes. In order to make some extra money, because he breaks Flash Thompson's hand, and all he did was he stopped a punch. You can't... I mean, the guy basically hit a brick wall with his hand, but he can't say that. Flash's parents sued Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and so to help make some money, he goes wrestling. A lot of this follows... Actually, the Spider-Man movie from 2003, something like that, follows this storyline.
Yeah, the Andrew or the Tobey Maguire
Tobey
one, or
Maguire.
the Andrew Garfield?
No, the Tobey Maguire one.
Because I know the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man took a lot of, inspiration from Ultimate Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, and I think this one started too, because the whole wrestling, coming up with the costume for the wrestling, that sort of thing. Again, Peter lets the bad guy robbing them get away. The only difference now is instead of Uncle Ben being gunned down on the street, the guy breaks into the Parker's house and shoots Ben there. Peter goes out, finds him, beats the crap out of him, and understands what Uncle Ben was trying to say. With power comes responsibility. Meanwhile, Norman, realizing that Peter has survived and stabilized, he injects himself with the same serum and becomes this monstrous creature that, we know is the Green Goblin. It's not just he goes crazy and puts on a costume. No, he turns into a hulking Green Goblin-like creature that can jump really well and is really strong. He doesn't have a glider or anything. He can't fly, but he's really good at jumping. And Harry saw this. And it was that night that the Osborn house burnt down, killing Harry's mother. And Harry, having seen his father turn into the goblin at the lab, saw the same goblin leaving the scene. So he knows it was his dad. Peter invents the web shooters and the webbing based on a formula that his dad was working on before his parents died. Because, of course, his dad's a super genius just like he is. And a confrontation between Spider-Man and the Goblin happens at the high school. Harry is sure the Goblin is there to get him, but during the confrontation, the Goblin mutters out, "Parker." So Peter knows the Goblin's after him. The fight ensues. Goblin actually gets knocked off a bridge into the river where they assume he's dead, but we know he's not. And Harry is taken away into S.H.I.E.L.D. custody. And that's kind of where the story ends. This was one of the first retellings of Peter's story where they kind of put a more modern spin on it. And I really enjoy the Bendis run of Ultimate Spider-Man. All the way through, spoilers, Peter's eventual death in the story. Which
I hate Ultimatum so much. That's the end of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you want to expound
No,
upon that?
he just mentioned it. I'm not... Maybe we'll talk about Ultimatum another time, because we don't have 30 minutes for me to talk about it.
Fair enough. But that also led to the creation of Miles Morales, which is a good character.
Yeah.
And so one bad thing leads to a good thing. So,
And Peter gets better. It's fine.
And, Peter gets better. It's fine, whatever. But I really enjoyed rereading Ultimate Spider-Man, because I haven't read it in years. I probably read it in probably around 2008, after they had started being put into graphic novels, because I borrowed them from you, Darrin.
Yeah, I had the first 6 or 7 volumes before, like, a tornado happened, and I really need to, like, recollect those. It's been on my to-do list. They've put them in omnibuses now, omnibuses,
so
good. You can get them in one big old honking book. And yeah, I mean, I liked the first run of Ultimate Spider-Man. The adult Ultimate Spider-Man by Hickman, has some pluses and some minuses. The only minus is this is where Brian Michael Bendis starts to develop that overly wordy, everything has to have snark kind of style.
Yeah.
But I will say my favorite moment is also early on in that, when Spidey is having to deal with the Kingpin and breaks into the Kingpin's like suite at night. And when he's confronted, he pulls out a set of cue cards, or like little index cards. He's written maybe like 50 some odd fat jokes. And he just starts running through them as Kingpin is getting angrier and angrier and angrier, like asking, like, so when you cut yourself shaving, does marshmallow fluff come out? And then so on and so forth until Kingpin starts swinging at him. But yeah, I liked it.
I do like that, yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend giving at least the first 7 issues a look, because it's a good story. It's a good retelling of the origin. So, be sure to check out our other shows. The gaming segment tomorrow, the movie segment the day after that, and you'll also want to check out, you want me to watch what? The 2nd and 4th weeks of the month, and the aptly named Week 3 podcast on the 6th week of the month. There's also some fun stuff on our YouTube channel, and be sure to follow us on social media. Links to everything, including Extra Life, can be found on our website, geekcavepodcast.com. And now, here's your out-of-context comic panel. We see Guy Gardner looking directly at the reader, smug as ever, and says, I'm supposed to become kind of like the Pope of the Green Lantern Corps.
Anybody else hearing that in like Nathan Fillion's voice?
Yeah, that's what I hear now.
Yeah. For Kent, our Batman starring Adam West. For Darrin, our Batman starring Michael Keaton. For Chad, our The Batman starring Robert Pattinson. I'm Justin, the canceled Batman starring Ben Affleck. This has been our wonderful world of comics, and remember, everyone's a geek for something.